Hello, this is Abdurrahman Abba today from Center for Information Technology and Development. Today, I would like to share with you the futuristic data that can be used to build AI models. This futuristic data is known as synthetic data. In this session, I would like to cover from overview to future trends. What is meant by synthetic data? It could be seen as the kinds of data that is being generated from real data. This can be an act of creating another data or artificially generated data from real data. So the essence of synthetic data could be to privatize sensitive data and also to mitigate biases in the data. So as you can see from this diagram, it's showing the original data being used to generate either fully synthetic data and partially synthetic data. In the case of partially synthetic data, we're talking about a data augmentation process while training models. Um, the next one, which is how it began. Historically, synthetic data came into or the inception about synthetic data came into was described by Robin in 1993 when he conducted a research for the representation of disadvantaged individuals in US. So he came across a data set which seems to be actual or real data, but while looking at it, it is created artificially. So the same way synthetic data has been into use since decades ago, especially in scientific simulations, how atoms, the content of atoms, the galaxies, and the likes. So scientific simulations make use of synthetic data. It seems to be real, whereby it is not real simulations. So the same thing. There's a kinds of these computer games by Microsoft, which is flight simulators, where the figures, the, the 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 displays, the visualization of the game seems to be real, but in the sense it is not real. But this game is good for aviation like that. So this is part of the applications of synthetic data. It makes everything to look as if it is real, whereby it is not real. So looking at the differences in synthetic data and real data, this is original data. Can you see the structure of this data? Now compare this with synthetic data. You would think they are the same, whereby they are not the same. This is a real data itself, while this is a synthetic data, which is being generated from the real data. So, according to there is one company, well, yeah, one company, Gretel AI. So, I would like to share with you the data flow or the model data flow. So, this grid could be an example for tabulated data. If you want to create a synthetic data from tabulated data, so retail application flow can be used to explain this. The CSV file is being created, then augmented, applied neural networks to it, then generates and the likes. So because of time, so in my own team, so we are applying synthetic data to computer vision for creating or generating much images in medical line. So this is how our data models look like. So we kinds of gather data, and at the end of the day, we apply our neural network using GAN, generative adversarial network, the Wasatian part of it. So this one is having two neural networks, the generator and discriminator, and we are able to generate our data from it. I mean, more images from it. So this is how the data flow looks like. We applied our models, and there is this neural network which is discriminator. So we apply laws to it, a kinds of noise per se, whereby when the model will first generate the noise, at the end of the day, it will now start to train itself until the discriminator won't be able to differentiate between the synthetic data and the real data. So we have the use cases of synthetic data in training AI, in medical research, in data privacy, image, video, and processing. Because nowadays, I believe in decades to come, synthetic data will be used in data privacy like that. So we have there is a kinds of challenges we might face in synthetic data, which is the quality of the data, the viability of the data, or can we say the validation of the data. So if the quality of the data used is not that okay, definitely to affect this is synthetic data. So this is one of the challenge, and the other one is there should be a kinds of verification steps of the synthetic data. We should make sure that it doesn't correspond to the real data. It's I mean user privacy is there, and the likes. So there's something we need to consider about synthetic data, which is the privacy preservation. So there should be like a kinds of anonymization about users' data when it comes to like business and the likes. So we need to consider the privacy. So data utility, how the data is being how the data is being used as well should be very. I mean, synthetic data should also be like uh, protected like real data as well. So there should be biasness and also fairness. This is very important in considering the ethical aspect of synthetic data. So it should be transparent, meaning anyone that will make use of the data should know that this data is not real. It is a synthetic data. And also security and protection. Yeah, the data also needs to be protected as well. I believe this is where quite comes in. All these ethical considerations about it will really make synthetic data useful if we are to consider all of this. And lastly, I have the future trends of synthetic data. So from NLP to predictive analytics, there is one prediction by Gartner as well that by 2030, most data that will be used for training AI will be synthetic data. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you. Thank you.